Hi, this is Helen from helenairy.com, and this is the second video in a series introducing you to the chakra system. And in this video I'll just be talking about the 7 major chakras in a little more detail, going through each one and how they relate to each other. Just a brief overview. So we'll start at the base chakra. That's our first one, also known as the root chakra, and that's located right at the base of the spine, at the pubic bone. Now, this is our self-preservation and our physical identity. It represents everything solid in our lives. So the element behind it is earth, and it represents our physical body, the ground we're walking on, the house we live in, and it also represents the beliefs we have around our body and our family and our community, and also the beliefs we have around what we need in order to feel safe and secure. So these are all really important, and what I'm seeing and what I've learned is if we have loyalty to the way our family does things, for example, if they work for someone else, then if we're staying loyal to their paradigm, then we're going to kind of follow in those footsteps. As soon as we try and do something different to our family, this is where there can be problems in actually moving forward, and sometimes we make progress and then we come right back again, because there's this whole loyalty or the vow that I'll talk about in another video, that's held in that base chakra. And what I'm also seeing is that a lot of clients are exhausted. They've had burnout from trying to do so much, and so there's no energy actually coming through the base chakra, being able to move up through to the others. So this is where self-care is so important, and taking time out for yourself so that you can fill up your base chakra, move it through, and then manifest those things in this life that you want to manifest. So that could be, whatever your vision is. It could be beautiful relationships, maybe moving forward in your life purpose or your career. So we need an open and healthy base chakra in order to manifest things on a physical level. And when it is open and healthy, we feel safe and fearless. If it's overactive, then that can cause greed or materialism. And if it's underactive, then that can cause fear and nervousness. So we're not actually able to move forward and materialize what we want in this world. So that's a little overview of the base chakra. We'll move up to the second one now. That's called the sacral chakra, and that's located just above the pubic bone, below the navel. Now this is our self-gratification. So anything that makes us feel good, that's our sacral chakra. It's also our emotional identity, and not surprisingly is represented by the element water. So our emotions are fluid and they need to flow through us ideally and not get stuck. So we've got this whole fluidity happening in the sacral chakra. Now this is our creative and our sexual center, and it's really how sensitive, how passionate and sensual we allow ourselves to feel. And it's also our self-image, so how good we feel in our own skin, that whole emotional identity. Do we feel good? Do we feel confident in our own skin? That's your sacral chakra. Now if it's overactive, this can lead to addictions and being too emotional, so overly emotional. And if it's underactive, then it can leave us apathetic or emotionally numb. So moving up to our third chakra is the solar plexus chakra, and that's located right above the navel. So this is our self-definition and our individuality and peace. And the element associated with our sacral chakra, with our solar plexus chakra, is fire. So it's that whole fire in your belly, that passion. So this is, as I said, your unique self. It's our ability to express our unique abilities and our unique self and put it out there to others, so we can really be in service, as opposed to being a follower or conforming to other people's views. So it's really our strength of character and our whole unique self. So if you're lacking confidence, if you're not able to get in action, this is all around your solar plexus chakra. And just think of that fire in your belly moving forward. And if it's overactive, this can lead to over-aggressive behavior or some domineering behavior, and we probably all know some people like that. If it's underactive, then it's that poor self-esteem, as I said, lack of confidence, not able to get into action, and maybe overly timid behavior. So that's your solar plexus. Then we move up to the heart chakra. Now this is the fourth chakra, which sits in the middle of those seven. And it's actually the bridge between the lower chakras and the upper chakras. So sometimes the lower chakras are known as the chakras of matter, and the upper chakras are known as the chakras of spirit. And the heart actually belongs to both. It's the bridge between both the lower and the upper. It represents self-acceptance, and it's our social identity. The forgiveness, having that love and balance in our lives. The element associated with the heart is air. So when we have a healthy heart chakra, then we're able to hold love and compassion and forgiveness for others. We have that whole self-acceptance towards ourselves and acceptance towards others as well. If we have an overactive heart chakra, then that can lead to really clingy and needy behavior, or that smothering kind of thing. Which isn't attractive, but that's what happens when we're overactive. When it's underactive, then we literally close it off and we become cold or distant towards others. We're not allowing any love in, and we're not able to give any out. So we move on now to the fifth chakra, that's our throat chakra. So this is our self-expression and our creative identity. This is sound, the element sound obviously makes sense. So the communication with the throat is not just about being able to verbally communicate our truth, but also being able to listen to others as well. So we're expressing ourselves from our truth. Too much talking, not enough listening, that's an overactive throat chakra. Okay. Also, if we're dominating conversations and situations, again, kind of not listening, just being very dominant there, that's the overactive throat chakra. If it's underactive, then we're not communicating what we feel, and in fact, or lack of communication. And in fact, if we're actually not speaking our truth, whether we're blocking it or we're not able to, that can actually lead to a block in the throat. And it's so common. It's like, oh, what is it that I didn't say, or what is it that I did say and shouldn't have, So that all comes out in the throat area. The sixth chakra, that's our third eye, or brow chakra, sometimes known as. It's just located right in the middle of the eyebrow. So this is self-reflection and the archetype identity. And this is the element light. So I'm going off subject a little bit here, but there's something called ajna light, and ajna is a Sanskrit word for third eye. It's this beautiful treatment where they open up the third eye through the ajna light treatment. So the third eye represents our vision centers. It's our intuition, our imagination, and our inner vision. And it represents also how we are able to see and perceive patterns in the world. So, can we see our life purpose? Can we see it unfolding before us? Can we see how we fit into the world? If we're in the right place, are we able to express our purpose to someone? Do we know when we need to stay put and plant our roots, and when to move on? So that's all the third eye. Now, if it's overactive, then that can lead to being in this kind of fantasy world. Also can lead to hallucinations even, or nightmares. If it's underactive, then thinking can be too rigid, and we might deny what the reality of what's going on around us is. It can also lead to confusion. And that brings us to the seventh chakra, the crown chakra, located at the top of the head. Now, the crown chakra represents self-knowledge. It's our knowing, this universal identity of infinite possibilities. So this is the area related to the brain, part of the brain. It's our analytical thinking, it's our memory, our consciousness, and also linked to the bliss and understanding. it's really our connection to our higher selves, which is also then the connection to others and the divine. So this is where the word yoga comes in, that unity. So first we unify with ourselves, and then we're able to unite with others, with, you know, that whole concept that everything is connected. So that's our crown chakra. We can feel more connected to others when that's healthy and open. It also brings us our, you know, meaning and purpose to our lives when it's nice and healthy and open. If it's overactive, then there can be too much thinking. I'm definitely guilty of that. Too much intellectualizing. It can be mental detachment from our body and from our spirit. If it's underactive, then that can lead to this uncertainty or spiritual indifference. It can also lead to excessive materialism. So that's really a summary of the 7 individual chakras. Now, of course, they're all related, and in the first video I talked about the 2 currents as they pass through each other. As I said, if you've got the current rising up from earth up into spirit, and you've got a blocked base chakra through exhaustion, or if there's just no energy moving through it, then it can't come up through the other ones. And then we've got that current coming down as well. So as I said earlier, we can have these beautiful ideas, lock into inspiration. This is what I need to be doing, coming down from the crown chakra. And then through the third eye chakra, we can visualize how it's going to happen. This is our life purpose. I can see it unfolding. And then using our throat chakra to communicate with people how we want it to look, and maybe listen to their ideas. And then in the heart, you know, this feels really true. I'm following my truth. And then we come down to the solar plexus, and it's blocked. Like, well, now I need to get into action. This is my power, but there's no power. It's blocked, or it's underactive, or there's something going on that might be congested. So we're never able to then move down to the base chakra to actually materialize those beautiful ideas. So you can see how it's really important to have all of the chakras really balanced. And that's just, as I say, materializing things on a life purpose point of view, but also on a physical level, and it affects our health as well. So I did do this video in front of this beautiful artwork, which I'll just show you briefly before I go. So this, sorry, we're in my healing room here. So let's start at the base chakra down here. So this is quite fancy, but the base chakra is generally red. Can you see that? There we go. And we've got these beautiful designs going up into the orange, yellow, green of the heart, blue of the throat. We've got the third eye symbol there, and coming up to the crown. So that's quite a fancy one. A less fancy one, and ones that we see more commonly. I don't know if you can see that. And it's back to front. So we've got the base starting at the red, but you can see the patterns as you get there. So, you know, there are a few different designs out there. And I'll be putting together a written version of this video so it's easier to follow. But I just wanted to share that with video. I hope you found it useful, and I'll